Welcome one and all to what may very well be the last episode of Turnabout in the Lighthouse of Lunacy. And it also might not be. I've got no idea how long Act Omicron will end up being. But I'm pretty sure we're nearing the end. I only have a limited amount of time to record today, so this episode might be shorter than normal, but hopefully we can get this boxed off because I really want to catch this guy. So let's just get right into it. Also, she could expose me when the time was right. There's no way to tell how old those prints are. That's certainly theory. You're saying I predicted the course of this entire trial in advance? Who do you take me for? Now you're just being a hypocrite. You said I joined a dental clinic simply to plant a king. And then predicted this would somehow frame you the next day. If you get to characterize me as Batman with prep time, it's only fair that I do the same to you. And let's be fair. Just predicting everything, and then simply setting some things up as contingencies. You asked for it. If you so desperately want me to be someone that's always a step ahead, then I'll be just that. That's not the reaction I was expecting. If you want to say these prints were placed in advance, that's straight up not possible. As it happens, I myself solved this puzzle cube earlier today. So hopefully not anticipating anybody to be impressed. I could easily solve such a puzzle myself. What the hell bother with such a mundane exercise? Your ego is beside the point. The key here is that I had to hold it in order to do so. Dr. Hellinger, tell me whether my fingerprints were present on this cube as well. You're correct. I found yours below the unknown prints. They're the only other set present. Perfect. It's good those didn't get smudged. I don't get it. What do your prints have to do with this? Did you hear the detective? She said my prints were found below the others. She can use a forensic technique that recognizes how prints are layered on top of each other. That way, you can figure out for a fact which prints were placed first.
So that means you were the first?
Bingo. Now the question is, when could I have placed those prints? The visitor logs will show that I never visited this tower before today. And I couldn't have visited that room before Mrs. Holden's murder. Lewis Guard reported everything Miss Chase touched during the investigation to us. He did mention the cube. Stop volunteering information. This is nothing more than hearsay. Take or leave that testimony. You still logically can't escape the facts. The person with the unknown prints touched that cube after we got trapped inside this tower. And now that person is gone. There's only one way to explain this. That person was the real Mr. Cover, who you're impersonating. I'm not. I don't know how it got into your head that you get away with this ridiculous impersonation stunt. Did you seriously think you pulled this off when you didn't even wipe his prints properly? I can explain this. First,
Is this going to be another far-fetched explanation about how Miss Chase predicted everything? Enough is enough. There's only one thing I want to know right now.
as the one who summoned him to the stand, allow me to be the one to ask. Witness, please state your name and occupation for this court. Please stop harassing me. I know everyone hates me, but normal people always have the decency to pretend. Are you gonna stop being honest or not? Always have been. Everything I said so far was technically correct. I know whenever someone says technically, it usually means not at all, but...
We will listen. Go ahead and explain yourself.
He's not gonna start saying that the real Mr. Cove was an imposter. Second Mr. Cove. You got me, kind of. My real name is Joseph Black, but I'm also Mr. Cove. And a Cove is a fake identity shared by two people. My partner and I took turns assuming the role. We swapped before the trip downstairs. He wanted to check the hole in the window. Uh-oh. I can't prove that, but it's not like you can show this other Cove ever was on the lower floor. Speaking of proof, you got zero that I shot Mr. Gart. I wasn't even at the scene when he died. There's no secret room, nor a second shelf. Prove me wrong if you can. You've got to be kidding.
Well, there's nothing that immediately makes the story impossible, but why didn't you just tell us the proper situation from the start?
It was nothing more than a bit of harmless wordplay if you think about it. How relevant is it really that there was another one? Besides, it seemed funnier to let Leah work for that mystery.
Funnier? You never take anything seriously, do you?
Don't take that from me. It's one of my few endearing qualities.
I suppose it's your cross-examination, Miss Chase.
Yo! He's still lying. Never would have guessed. That was awesome, though. You almost had him with those prints. Please don't get too hyped. I've got enough pressure to handle as is. I thought proving he's an imposter would be enough, but he still weaseled himself out again. Yeah, he shouldn't get to do that. Speaking of, dude keeps calling you Leah. The heck's up with that? He's just trying to get a rise out of me. Best to ignore it. Bit of a British tinge, that one. He's trying to get a rise out of me. You know, I wouldn't mind giving you a nickname though. Those were the 3 letters you had in common with me. Well, too bad. That one's ruined forever now. How about Raylia then? Pass. Or hard pass, and this isn't the time for this. Sorry about that, Ori. I'm leaving. That gave me more mental damage than this guy ever could. It's time to tear his story apart. Just one more push should be enough. Let's nail this guy. Is the profile updated? It's not updated to Joseph Black, so who knows? I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's still not your real name. I find your lack of faith depressing. Why should we trust you after you already changed your story once? Nothing was changed. Let's be real here. You pretty much already knew Mr. Koba was just my undercover identity. Could I have been more straightforward about that? Absolutely. I'll give that to you. But at the end of the day, what does it really matter? I'm not a suspect here. You're very much a suspect. The whole point is that you replaced the real Mr. Koba. See, that did happen, but it's clickbait alert, not what you think it is. It's actually pretty dumb. Well, that's just my life, I guess. Really, no. What would have been the point of that? Budgeting. We already had enough funds for one fake identity. You decided to buy that the FBI can't have their agents afford 2 costumes? If you've been paying attention, then you'd know there has been a lot of pressure to defund us lately. Well, this did result in some budget cuts. Even that costume is still left over from the Cold War era. I hate how that actually sounds like it explains a lot. Still, there's no reason for you to share the outfit. Couldn't this all have been left to just one person? Apologies. Yeah, you must be one of those people that watch others do the work and claim credit. I wasn't just going to let my partner do everything. Gotta at least appear to be a mostly responsible adult. What's the name of your partner? Francis Bob Ingram. Right, well, here's what's really going on. This partner was the real Mr. Koba and you killed him. Just because you don't agree with my opinions doesn't mean that you can't say that I'm not an OG Koba as well. That's not very tolerant of you. It's also, like, a fallacy. No true Scotsman. No true Koba. You can't exclude this witness from being Mr. Koba only because you consider him obnoxious. If such a thing were permitted, I would have a never-ending list of charlatans to banish. I'm pretty sure that's not how that works, but whatever. If you're going to say that you didn't kill the other Mr. Koba, then what happened to him? Come on, you're saying he fell out of the window? Well, he apparently left this floor somehow, and that's the only other way to go. Can't know for sure until we retrieve his body from the sea.
How could something like that happen?
Wish I knew though. I'm as clueless as the rest of you, if not more. He never really struck me as a clumsy guy. Man could keep that tray steady when running even. We may have to consider this wasn't an accident, but deliberate. Gotta admit, we screwed up a lot. Kept dying because we're unable to collect all those dangerous weapons. Those deaths weighed in his mind. It's possible the added stress of the situation made him decide to put an end to it. Suicide? Yeah, no chance. I agree this was deliberate, but the responsible party is still very much alive and breathing. Fine, guess I'll just stop breathing then. Been planning to quit that for a while anyway.
Witness, do you have anything to back up this version of events?
Bold of you to assume your claim is still in any way equal to mine. Is there anything he would have done? It doesn't say. I mean, who pressed the buttons on the elevator? I don't know. That's probably not it. Because apparently we still can't go downstairs. Even though that'll put an end to this discussion real quick. Whose fingerprints were on this? Bold of you to assume your claim is in any way equal to mine. That's how it works in court. Last time I checked, you had evidence to support a claim. Where'd you get your law degree again? Oh wait, my bad. It sounds like you're trying to sue me, so I figured you'd have one.
As much as I don't appreciate the behavior of this witness, evidence does matter. Give testimony, please see Mr. Cooper on the lower floor. None of it could show who was under the disguise at the time.
Can I prove enough? This guy really will never concede me more than he has to. So if I did have proof showing Mr. Cove visited the lower floor, you'd be immediately screwed. Hey, I love getting screwed as much as the next guy. Sadly, life's not a bed of roses. Is there really nothing? I better go through all the possible places downstairs that might hold clues. Maybe this is a specific place that does hold clues? I'll come back to that one. It's a waste of time. As long as we can't check the lower floor again, it's pointless to worry about it. I guess that's true. Excuse me for having had my hands full disposing of your alibi and exposing your identity to this. No, I don't think I will. You wouldn't have taken this long and tedious route if you had such proof handy. You're a smart, confident woman after all, no? Well, there's a few things we didn't know back when you first gave us testimony. Oh yeah, there's absolutely a reason to not leave with direct proof of me being a criminal. No way we could have sorted out the culprit first and then worried about all alibis and all that jazz. Checked the court records lately? It's still got exactly the same stuff in it you had back then. Well, that's hard to dispute. Do we have no new evidence since the time he first testified? Love him or hate him, he's spitting facts. I don't remember there technically being any new evidence here, so I guess that much is true. Is that all you wanted to say? Well, if we just be able to check the lower floor one more time. Decidedly not. We've wasted ample precious time on your investigation demands. One time was evidently too many already, all resulting with delays and death. We can keep this guy and Lillian up here. What could possibly go wrong then? I'd probably just trip the flag.
Without the plaintiff's help, we'll have to work with what we can discover on this floor.
How very wonderful. Because we'll waste less time that way. Definitely not because it helps with me not getting busted. How aggravating. The obvious thing to confirm, and we just can't. Is there really no other way to prove the layout of the second floor is what I claim? No more nicknames for now. Promise? Promise? Just give me your thoughts on this testimony. Well, he actually thinks that this will work because he's got no real evidence against him. This will be a lot easier if we could check the crime scene again. If there is no secret room, I'm a liar. If there is, then I'm the one with the alibi thanks to the kid. But we might have to accept that we can't prove that. Confirming that my timeline is what happened seems like the best shot. What other way is there? Plain old proof tying him to the murder, obviously. You know, like his fingerprints on the gun, or him leaving a cigarette at the scene. Well, he probably wore gloves, and he clearly wouldn't do anything that careless. There's nothing obvious, we just have to keep up the pressure. Now there's an extendable path on the body. Ink stain. We haven't talked about that ink stain yet, have we? And I guess we do technically have his profile. That's not a new thing though, is it? None of this has been updated, I don't think. None of this. There's nothing obvious, we just have to keep up the pressure. This pug sure is careful, but this murder was unplanned. There's got to be a weak spot somewhere. Something to directly tie into the murder. Might also be worth looking at my evidence again. This one, I think. Isn't there a place you're forgetting about? Oh, jog my memory. What about... I mean, he did go into the hallway. What about the hallway? What about it? Or as it applies to all the places on the lower floor? That part is no exception. Add that to your testimony, please. Oh, is it time for your specialty? The Leah straw-grasping crisis is upon us, folks. How many statements is it going to be this time, I wonder?
It's clear either you or the other Mr. Cove visited that location. Please do as the defendant says and add it to your testimony.
Okay, sure. Hope I can remember all these statements, what she's done. Seems like exposing him this one just to earn me at least some points back to the judge. You couldn't ever prove he was in the hallway, for example. You know, it was almost perfect. There's an illusion where if you read a the there and a the there, you only read it as one because you skim over it. But no, not quite. There's a very real chance Mr. Cobra left some prints in that place. If we checked it again, all this could... No, gonna stop you right there. That room's got already swept once. There's no reason to do it again. I'm sure our hair-splitting detective would have mentioned she found this. Well, she wasn't specifically looking out for that. She was trying to rule out an extra person. Of course she would have looked for prints. Not surprising she didn't find me a man. I had half my hands full carrying the tray. Maybe he's right. Is there anything downstairs I know for a fact Mr. Cooper took? Let's talk about another room. Namely... something he would have had to have touched. Well, if he did really climb into that room, he should have gone to the second shelf. Right? So... But that would be in the hallway. I don't think he would have touched the bathroom. And goes up and he's prepared to kill. It doesn't say whose blood there, but I guess that could be his. Oh no, yeah, it does say that. So the ink stain is something that's not been explained yet. I actually want to see that dialogue. Sorry, didn't realize it being so in the style like that. The hallway. Do you claim there are no traces there? That is literally the place we just talked about. You okay up there? Right, well, keep it then. Possible evidence I'm running out of ideas. And I press that understatement, I might be able to get the second shelf for my call record. Oh, he says there's no second shelf. Couldn't prove he was in it, so the whole one wasn't even up to see the guy. I want to see what happens by disputing here. None of all of those revelations were added to the court record. There's no way that's right. It's decidedly accurate, because those presumptive revelations only exist in your fantasy. Unverified secret rooms belong in the subpar mystery novels of the court record. Still, this piece of information was only added after I presented my theory on the murder. Oh, it's been a week since I last played. That wasn't updated. That wasn't updated. That wasn't. This wasn't. That wasn't. This door we haven't used for a while. That wasn't. That wasn't. I guess we could. Than this guy. This is the new piece of information. Your true appearance. Absolutely outstanding. What a game-changing piece of information. Well, I'm glad we can agree that my appearance is a net positive. Mock it all you want to demonstratively change things. Take the newspaper. The photo was completely meaningless until your face gave it relevance. Got me there. I guess you can now present a photo that clearly shows me shooting Mr. Card. At the time of the murder, the culprit couldn't have been wearing Mr. Cooper's disguise yet. If there's any proof, you would have left it while wearing that outfit of yours. Oh crap, that was a blood stain. Doesn't look like it. I'm gonna check my back to make sure. I get you'd have made sure to destroy any obvious traces like that, even if you were in a rush. I thought you'd be smart enough to do at least that, yeah. Which means your whole plate is useless either way. There's nothing about my fresh look that could be linked. He does have pens in his pocket. Point to his face, and the pens come as a separate thing. I don't know why it's a lot, because as if I've not mentioned it before, you can actually see which frame it takes you to is in the bottom left corner of my screen. So there's an option for the face and an option for the pens, but I luckily managed to deduce it was the pens because of that ink stain which was in the on the baton underneath was caught. My pens. What, did I leave a written confession at the scene or something? If I was that eager to get caught, you wouldn't be doing this. The point is that your pens may be the connection to Mr. Guard's murder we're looking for. And at this point, it's got to be where I present the autopsy. A written confession. You might as well call it that. This is going to be something, isn't it? Can't wait to see how you're going to make a fool of yourself this time. I kind of get why Mr. Nellen called this prime entertainment. I wonder how much longer you'll be finding this one amusing. There's still a trace left at the crime scene we weren't able to connect to anything so far. Namely, the uncanny trace on the expandable baton underneath them.
There was blood on the inside, if I recall correctly.
Yes, the victim's own blood, mixed with some ink. Oh shit. The fact that it's mixed together with the blood proves it got on there at the time of the murder. Holy shit, I've been caught. Oh, you know what, I confess. Alright, trials of... just kidding. It couldn't have got there at some later point. Mr. Gart was the last person to close it. He must have understood the importance of that clue and protected it with his last breath. Because this ink came straight from one of the killer's pens. That's mere conjecture. You cannot prove the origin of that ink. Dr. Hellinger told me something interesting earlier. It seems not all ink is made equal. It can be analysed and compared, not entirely unlike DNA. And I'd say we have sufficient grounds to do just that. I won't allow it. Cute, but it's not really up to you.
You won't allow Dr. Hellinger to perform this simple, rather relevant analysis. I have given the plaintiff a lot of leeway, but you cannot completely refuse any discovery. If you want to win this trial fairly, that is.
Then you're really talking to the wrong person. This girl needs absolutely any handicap she can set up. Fascinating. Now even I am beginning to get perplexed by your level of incompetence. I must protect my precious mind. Do what you want. It is unfortunately your right to speed this brainless. Good. Well then, please surrender your pens, Mr. Black. I'd rather not. I know my rights. The Fourth Amendment means you need my consent.
Not when there's probable cause, of which we have plenty.
Okay, well, knock yourselves out then. Nope, they weren't the same whatsoever. There was a 0.0001% chance that they're the same, which means they're not the same, which means this trial's over, you're guilty. That's fast. Well, it's going to be a match, no? I can't conclusively answer that in the affirmative. What? So the ink isn't from any of those pens? I cannot state that either. Because it's not possible to perform the analysis you want me to. What? Is this Victoria's doing again? If so, I'm disappointed. I should be the one displeased. However, I know it's not easy for you to stop jumping to conclusions. The reason I didn't do anything is because there's no ink in the pens you gave me. I have no sample to compare my findings to. Well, this was signed by the fake Mr. Cover, so it would be the same ink.
All 3 pens empty. How can that be?
Well, isn't that unlucky? Oh my god, he was prepared for this. Your Honour, there's basically no question the witness emptied those pens himself. There's no way they'd naturally be without even a trace of ink there. Ha! Ha! Ha ha ha! If only I had signed something that's in your court record with my own pen. Wait, what was that you just said? Nothing. I knew you'd say that, hence my protest. Ask any office worker. There's never any functional pen when you need them. It happens.
Well, as suspiciously convenient as this is, it's sadly not the conclusive proof it could have been. Please resume your cross-examination, Miss Chase.
Must feel great, Leah. Being a step behind, that is. Deliciously frustrating. Shh. I guess that would have been too easy. This guy's no idiot. He was definitely watching the trial closely for anything that could be used against him. But the Helena presented the autopsy report with the ink, he must have realised what it meant. There has to be another way to catch him. I can't let him get away with that. Solid effort with the pens. It's too bad I don't even remember what a full one feels like. Can't compare them. We're supposed to just accept that all three of your pens empty, but you're just tied to the bureau, and I've got around to replacing them. I burned through them pretty quickly. Pretty much got no motivation if I don't write out some half-assed affirmations daily. This freaking guy, though, is actually frustrating. I was so close to getting him for something. Can we, find wherever we spilled the ink? It's gotta be somewhere. No chance. We must have overheard it all the way back when we first discussed the murder. There was plenty of time to go to the bathroom and just empty his pens into the sink after that. There's really none of it left anywhere then. Sadly. Besides, even if we found another ink stain now, how would we prove it was from his pens? Hate to concede the point, but we might have to look for another way to catch him. I still want to try the affidavit. Oh. That wasn't moving well to the beginning. But I still want to try presenting the affidavit. It's the best idea I have for now. Hey. Solid effort indeed. You almost got me to disregard this. You just can't leave me alone, it seems. I'll lend you my pens however often you like. There's nothing left to squeeze out of them, though. Your pens aren't really required anymore. We've already got proof of your guilt in black and white. Are you drunk? That statement literally spells out my alibi. I don't really care about what is spelled out here. It's noted that this affidavit was signed by both you and Dr. Hellinger. I don't really see the signatures. Anyone know where they are? They're on the back. The space on the front was insufficient. Interesting. Say, if you've only been carrying empty pens, then you shouldn't have been able to sign this document. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Seems like I'm right on the money this time. You didn't know about the ink at the crime scene yet. So, you signed this document without a care in the world. With your pens, which still had their ink at that time. And how would you logically conclude that to be the case? He could have been given a pen by someone else. This affidavit was the first thing you made the witnesses sign when they returned from downstairs. When they returned, they had these two sign affidavits before they were allowed to do anything else. To add to that, the detective has a policy to have everyone always sign with their own pen. Precisely because it's possible to confirm the source of any ink, should it ever be necessary. She would have never allowed him to use anybody else's pen until he could show he didn't have one. Honestly, I'm impressed with how much Aurelia remembers of the shit that Helen just says. She said a lot of stuff, and I don't remember any of it, but I just assumed because this was signed, he would have used his pen. And because he didn't know about the ink yet, the trail and sort of. If the signature of Andakova on this affidavit was written in the same ink found at the scene, and that conclusively makes you the murderer. That's not decisive. Even if it's a match, there must be similar ink from the same manufacturer out there. Who cares? Lillian certainly wasn't found in such a time. Even if someone else here was a match, they all have an alibi that's much more solid than yours. There's no reasonable doubt left you can use to dispute this result.
Lillian's signature matches is of great significance, but to Hellinger, if you would.
That would be necessary. I have something objectively more relevant to report. What could possibly be more important than this right now? I'm going to kill... The existence of the secret room has been verified. She used the hunt devices to scan the interior of objects.
That would essentially prove Mrs. Chase's entire theory.
How did you manage to confirm this? The witness deserves credit for calling attention to the hole in the window. I was equipped to use that opening to test this with a relatively practical method. I see. You checked the windows from outside with your drone. Oh, I see. It took some time to program it to maneuver correctly. I instructed to circle the building at the approximate altitude, taking photos of the rooms inside. That's how I discovered there was a fourth room.
Astonishing! And what was hidden inside?
Keep in mind that a thorough investigation isn't feasible with this method. What's possible to discern is that this room is similar to the others on the lower floor. The pattern in this room consists of hands, and the text on the pillars, and the text on the pillar reads "Nonmaleficence." Hands, and we have beneficence or justice autonomy. So beneficence and non-maleficence, which would be the same as beneficence, which is on the opposite side. Completing the 5 senses and the 4 pillars of ethics. Oh. So hearing, taste, smell, touch, and sight would be the eyes on the front of the tower. I don't know what the 4 pillars of ethics are, I guess, so that's what these rooms were. I haven't had this track since the investigation, but I really like it. And Mr. Kova, did you find him? Well, I've listened to it on my own time, but we haven't heard it in the video. The room wasn't as empty as the others. It featured some furniture, like beds, chairs and tables. Most of them were equipped with what appeared to be restraints.
I don't want to imagine what those were for.
No person or dead body was visible inside the room. There was a circular hole in the glass, however, similar to the one we found on this floor. You don't mean to tell me you threw the real Mr. Cover out the window? I can neither confirm nor deny that possibility. Of course, I immediately tried to send my drone to search the sea below. I didn't locate any body, though I was able to locate 3 other data points floating in the water.
This is a lot to take in at once. Well, please tell us your findings.
I will have you assess their relevance, sir. The first item my drone spotted was an electric drill. A common household variant, although on the larger end. Next, there was a TV remote. So the drill was used to make the holes. It appeared to be an older model based on its design, but it's difficult to say for certain. Lastly, a glass cutter with a oh no, we used the glass cutter obviously. The diamond tip. Likely expensive. It could easily be more. The sea is a difficult place to investigate. It's statistically very fortunate I found as much as I did. Man just dumped all the evidence into the sea. Pragmatic, I guess. This has to be how we got rid of Mr. Cover's body as well. But it doesn't matter, because the mere existence of this room confirms my theory. I will analyse the signature for the sake of thoroughness, but it does appear to only support one logical conclusion.
Of course. Meanwhile, we will accept what you found into evidence.
I have a feeling, because we've pretty much solved the second murder, this stuff is going to be the key to solving Where's the stuff? Oh no, this one at a time. Tower diagram updated with the extra room. But I have a feeling the extra stuff is going to be the key to solving the first murder, Melanie Holden, because we've pretty much solved the second murder now. We need to prove Aurelia innocent as well, because yeah, we need to. That's the whole point of what we're doing. This doesn't say anything else extra, but we do have Nonmaleficence. Nonmaleficence has been added to the court record. The hidden fourth room on the lower floor. A hole has been cut in the outer glass. Blood was found on the floor in 2 spots. Both appear to be puddles of a few drops. One has flown towards the window. So the red dots there was blood. As there might be still a bit more in the second murder we'd solved then. Well, not the second murder, the third murder of Sokova. Yeah, I think I pretty much got it there. Disposed tools have been added to the court record. These items, 3 items have been located floating in the sea. A large electric drill, it's missing its drill bit. An old TV remote, which is, you know, presumably how he operated the TV. And he was able to do so without having to use the tuning forks, which could only do one thing or another. A glass cut with a diamond happy the way he did that. Given the vastness of the ocean, it cannot be ruled out the ball was thrown away.
Outstanding job, detective. How much not many police investigators could have matched that?
I was able to verify it first, but it was the defendant who presented this hypothesis. We can objectively call it a tie. I almost feel like I got robbed, but I certainly won't complain. Definitely curious how the witness will excuse any of this away.
Maybe more appropriate to call him the main suspect at this point, indeed.
Yeah. That goddamn drone. No shot, I guess. I give up.
You give up? Do you mean to say?
Yep, you got me. Grats. This isn't just another one of your jokes, I hope. He's gonna admit to the murder of Mr. Kova and Mr. Gart, but he's gonna purposefully not admit to the murder of Melanie Holden. We still don't have Hellinger in our profile, so I think that was just a mistake though. He's still not gonna admit to the murder of Holden, to spite Aurelia. Leah, please. We're taking this seriously here. This isn't a fight I can win anymore. Hard to compete when Heisenberg over here keeps stealing you all the good stuff.
You admit it then. You admit that you are the murderer.
Sure am. I'm just properly introduced myself. And there's no point in hiding it anymore. The name's Giulio Zanoctrio, dentist in training. What's with those faces? Smile. Let me see those teeth. Say ah.
Please spare what few teeth I have left.
Impossible. Wait, they can't have been right. So there it is. You really are working for Dr. Cavity. Yep. The whole Kova thing is a complete lie. Shocker, I know.
Order, please remain calm. It's the drill, is it? Why in the world did you do all of this?
I do owe you an explanation, I suppose. No worries, I will do a proper confession. Got nothing left I'd lose now.
Go ahead, you will at least listen to what you have to say.
There's still more to do. Confession. My name is Giulio Zanoctrio. I killed Mr. Gart, like you figured. It was an attempt to divert suspicion away from Aurelia Chase. That's right. I was her accomplice. She got caught killing Mrs. Holden, so I had to commit a murder so she'd have an alibi for it. I would have never done it if I'd have known she was planning to throw me under the bus like this. I'm your accomplice. What the hell are you thinking? Only pure and wholesome thoughts, I assure you.
I have no idea what this meant to me.
You're surprised? It's the only thing it had to be. Was everyone forgotten that Aurelia has already been proven the culprit? In the case you possess enough intelligence to at least not pick the most painfully obvious accomplice. As I've been saying, the second incident was bound to be a desperate distraction by her. You can't take this testimony seriously. He literally just confirmed he's a murderer. You've got it backwards, Leah. I've already confessed to murder. Why would I still be lying about anything? That's what I'd like to know. What's the point of roping me into this? You did betray me. Don't think you're walking out of here scot-free. And I have nothing left to lose, but there's still something I can gain. Satisfaction. There's his motive for framing us.
Why did my gavel not make a noise? I'm very disappointed.
Your Honor, I just think you've got a weak arm.
That is true. I have been up for several hours without sleeping. I'm very, very tired. A shocking revelation indeed. Nevertheless, this trial is about the wrongful death of Mrs. Holden. In the end, it's not clear how this witness could be liable for that.
I'm not an accomplice. That's just what he's saying now out of pure spite. Let me cross-examine this bastard and disprove this nonsense.
Well, that is your prerogative. If you want to dispute the confession, I won't stop you.
I knew there was going to be a catch, but this is something else. He must really hate you. He put a lot of effort into framing you. Not too surprising he'll take what he can still get at this point. That makes him either a poor loser or really dedicated. Well, no points for guessing whether this confession is just full of lies. Nah, this one seems legit. Not sure I'm in the mood for jokes. No joke. That's finally his real name, at least. I guess there was no point in hiding it anymore. Well, at least we know what to call our enemy now. Junio Zanok Drill. The true culprit assistant at Dr. Cavity's dental clinic. A prior associate of Dr. Lead. Drill, huh? Even though we got him, he's still fully dedicated to dragging me down with him. I'll have to figure out how he framed me and put an end to his lies. Possibly the only truthful thing you said today. Yes, murderers lie not to get caught. Who are you to call me out on it? He said you need to come clean when I get caught. We're still waiting for your confession, Leah. I did not kill her. It should be obvious now that that was all part of your framing. I did not kill her. It's not true. And here I thought I was pathetic. Now look at you. The only thing that's obvious is that I chose a terrible person to work with. Here's me trying to bail you out, and that's how you thank me? Where did... Cause he did throw one drill away. So that drill just gets thrown. I bet he used the drill to make these holes. They're basically strangers. Why would we even be working together so coldly after all we've been through? You just deny it like this? Come on, you basically proved it all earlier in your ill-advised attempt to throw me under the bus. Both of us were Dr. Lee's shady goons, supporting it, I wasn't aware of his true nature back then. Yeah, that's about what I'd claim if anyone asked. We've done some nasty stuff, haven't we? The JP Corporation isn't exactly up for any freaking jobs.
You were saying both you and Miss Cherry supported that murderous organization?
Those were the days. I was still kind of a trainee back then, but Leah was basically running the HR department.
I'm not sure how to feel about you describing such a group like as a company.
Anything can be turned into a business. That's capitalism for you. Anyway, you should realise it's pointless to deny this, Leah. And after everything you already admitted too early. Can't argue against this. It's too easy for him to put me in a bad light. And what was it you suppose you did here, according to you? Oh, the idea wasn't to get caught? The original idea was not to murder anyone at all. Well, as far as I was concerned, at least. Please, you already admitted we were after this documentation of certain fun, happy times. The plan was that you'd search the office while I checked the lower floor. I tricked Miss Holden into giving me a little tour, and then gave her the slip. Not sure why everyone is so trusting of doctors, really. Then I had to learn that Leah completely botched things. You should have seen my face. Hold up, that makes no sense. How would you have even known about what was going on upstairs? Concealing the soundproof, no? You clearly knew everything that happened in the trial. You must have had some way to listen to me. I guess you never figured out my trick for that. At least one thing that annoying drug didn't find. Well, I'll leave that part up to your imagination. Should have known I wouldn't get anything for free. Anyway, my main issue is obviously with the claim I killed Mrs. Holden. Why should we buy that you didn't kill her when you're confirmed to have killed 2 other people? You don't have to take it from me. Take it from the bullet we found in her chest. Besides, didn't your story also put me on the lower floor? How could I have influenced events in the study from there at all? Yes, that more or less sums up the problems with anyone else being killed. Now to find a way to counter these, which should I focus on? You know, I've just about run out of time to record today, so cutting this episode a little bit short, but we did manage to get quite a bit done. We've pulled things back around to the murder of Melanie Holden, and next time I'll decide which one of these options I want to pursue. So yeah, see you later.